みなさんこんにちは。Hi guys, I'm Haruka. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make Japanese sentences with the verbs in the present tense. I said present tense, but actually in Japanese, we don't have future tense. So we use present tense as the future too. So once you know how to make present tense with the verbs, you can talk about your habitude and also something you are going to do. We have casual form and polite form. You have to know polite form if you are beginner. Because if you talk to someone who doesn't know with the casual form, it's really rude. Let me tell you something. The conjugation for polite form is actually easier than casual form. So today, I'm gonna teach you polite form. Are you ready to learn Japanese with me? Let's jump in. Verb present tense affirmative ending is masu. Let's take a look at conjugation rules. Actually, dictionary form is used as a casual form. Only here, casual form seems easier, but hang in there. You need to learn polite form first. Rules are a little bit difficult, just a little bit, ちょっと. So please listen carefully. In Japanese, we can divide verbs to 3 groups. First one is ru verb, second one is u verb, and last one is irregular verbs. But don't worry, irregular verbs are only 2. Alright, let's go back to conjugational rules. Firstly, you take a verb in a dictionary form. Every verb's dictionary form in Japanese finishes with u vowel. If the verb's last syllable is ru, you have to take a look at the syllable before ru. If it has e or e vowel, then they are eligible to be ru verb. So, even the verb finished with ru, you cannot decide that's ru verb at first sight. You have to look into the syllable before ru. If the verb is ru verb, all you need to do is quite simple. You remove the last syllable ru from the dictionary form, and what's left is the verb stem. And you add masu instead. That's it. I picked up some verbs as an example. Let's take a look at it. First one is 食べる to eat. Second one is 着る to wear. Third one is いる to be. Existence of people, animals, etc. We use いる for the existence of something which can move by themselves. You may be taught that we use いる for the existence of living things. Yes, it is, but if I explain like that, we have to include plants too. But for plants, we don't use いる. Instead, we use ある. To avoid the confusion, I chose the word something it can move by their will. So we use いる to people, animals, insects, or even ghost. Did you get the image of how to use いる? So let's move on to the next. The last example is 起きる to wake up. Let's conjugate those verbs into present polite form. Are you ready? If that's ru verb, all you need to do is just take off ru at the end of the dictionary form, then add masu instead. Let's do it. 食べる becomes 食べます. Be careful, in Japanese, we tend to omit the subject and object if that's clear to the listener and speaker. So sometimes you have to guess. And if you cannot guess, you better to ask. So you have to be like detective, like do you know Detective Conan? Alright, so next. 着る to wear becomes きます。Next, いる to be becomes います。But be careful, if you say just います, you cannot mean as I will be there. You have to add the word related to time. For example, by 10 o'clock, I will be there. 10時までにそこにいます。And next, 起きる to wake up becomes 起きます。Alright, how about the negative form? You already know affirmative form, which is ます。All you need to do is just change from ます to ません。Voila! That's polite, present, negative form. That's it. So let's take a look. 食べる to eat becomes 食べません。着る to wear becomes 着ません。いる to be becomes いません。起きる to wake up becomes 起きません。Let's move on to the next verb group, which is ru verb. If the verb is not ru verb, then they are u verb. If the verb is u verb, you need to change the last syllable's vowel from u to i. Then you add ます。大丈夫? I picked up some verbs as examples. Let's take a look at them. 飲む to drink becomes 飲みます。書く to write becomes 書きます。Next, ある to be, there is, there are. Existence of something which cannot move by their will becomes あります。Next, 歌う to sing becomes 歌います。Okay, so let's move on to the negative form. Same as ru verb, once you know affirmative form, it's easy to change. All you need to do is just change ます to ません。Let's take a look. 飲む to drink becomes 飲みません。Next, 書く to write becomes 書きません。Next, ある to be, there is, there are becomes ありません。And then the last one, 歌う to sing becomes 歌いません。Good job! ちょっと疲れたね。いいよ。Okay, almost there. Hang in there. As I said, in Japanese, we have 3 verbs conjugational groups. And we have one more left. Let's take a look at irregular verbs in Japanese. We use irregular verbs often. You know, you cannot escape anymore. You have to do it now with me. Don't worry, you are not by yourself. It's only 2, ne? First one is Suru. To do becomes します。Next one, Kuru. To come becomes 来ます。If you use I as a subject and from your perspective, I mean from I's perspective, we cannot use 来る. Instead, we have to use 行く, which means to go in Japanese. If your mom calls you, dinner is ready, then you want to say I'm coming, but you cannot translate exactly because in Japanese, 来ます sounds really weird. We have to say 行きます which means I will go now. いいかな? Is it clear? How about negative form? Let's do it. する to do becomes しません Next 来る to come becomes 来ません Again, same thing as affirmative form. We cannot use the subject I with 来る in Japanese. I'd like to add one more thing. I promise that's only one more thing. In Japanese, する can be combined with a lot of nouns to form new verbs. For example, 料理 cooking, it's a noun, plus する料理する to cook. Another example, 旅行 traveling, it's a noun, plus する旅行する to travel. 大丈夫かな? How about negative form? 料理しません旅行しません Good job! 大丈夫? Is everything clear for you? I hope you said yes. So that's all for today's lesson. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to practice conversation in Japanese, you can book the lesson with me on the link below. Here's a homework for you. Can you write something you will do or you do generally usually on the comment below in Japanese? I'm looking forward to read your comment. 待ってるね. See you on the next video. ではまたね. Have a great day. ひょっ